Welcome to this lesson. So we looked at how to create different columns in your grid by using the grid template columns property, and so far we used the auto value to assign automatic values to your columns. Okay, so what if you want to assign arbitrary values? What if you want to properly give values? You can give them in multiple ways. You can give them in pixels, you can give them in percentages, and so on and so forth. Let's try with percentages first. So let's say I want two different columns, 33%, 33%. Sorry, let's say I want three different columns. Okay, so I want three different columns, and each of these columns are going to take up 33% in width. So that means I'm actually asking my browser to divide it equally among all of these columns, and since it's only 33%, there's going to be 1% left, and that 1% is here. So if I wanted to cover that as well, I'll probably have to give 33.3, 33.3, 33.3. Do you see that? So even then, it's something is going to be left because it's not completely done right. Yeah, perfect. So if I give 33.3% for all of these columns, that means it's equally divided among all of the three columns, right? 33.3 into 3 is actually 100. So what if I want four columns and I want it to be divided equally? So in that case, I'd give 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. So right now, there are four different columns and each are equally divided among our items. And there is two different extra spaces because there are only 6 different items and not 8. Okay, so also you can actually give different values, different percentage values for your elements. So for example, let's say I want it to be maybe 50%, 30%, and then 20%. So you just have to make sure that when you add it up, it gets to 100, because if it doesn't get to 100, you'll have extra space. So if you don't want that extra space, just make sure the percentages adds up to 100, but you can give any value you want. So 50, 30, 20. Let's see how that looks. See, this takes up 50% of our width, that is 960 divided by 2, and the rest is divided as 30% in here and 20% in here. Okay, so that's how you can play around with your percentages and get different widths for your columns, and that's how you can create more columns as well. So you can also use pixels, okay, just pixel values. So let's say 960 is actually 480 pixels, and then 480 is actually 240 pixels and 240 pixels. Let's see. So this is equivalent to giving 50% in here and 25% and 25% in here. I'm actually dividing this particular value into three values. So let's see there. See, 480 pixels is taken up by the first column, and then 240, 240. You could also use auto along with all of your pixels. For example, let's see 200 pixels, 300 pixels, and then auto. So what this does is it's going to take up 500. The first two columns are going to take up 500 pixels totally, and the remaining is going to be automatically assigned to the third column. Do you see that? This is 200, this is 300, 500 totally, and the remaining is assigned to the third column. Okay, so the 960 is divided equally. So that's how you can play around with your pixels as well. And there's also a new way of mentioning widths with CSS Grid. It's called the fractionals. Let's look at how that works in the next lesson. I'll see you there. Thank you.